Hi, I'm Tim Minton, and this is what's happening at the Legislature. If you remember last week, the North Carolina Senate passed its own version of the budget, went to the House. Now the House is creating its own budget. Now there are a lot of things that happened this week. One of the highlights was the North Carolina-South Carolina legislative basketball game. This is where the two states' legislators get together. It's a lot of fun. Previous to that game, there was a North Carolina lobbyist versus legislative staff game. Our very own Stephen Webb played in that game. It was at Reynolds Coliseum. Here's a picture of Stephen shooting a free throw. He scored over 10 points, did a great job, and we were there to root for him. Now, a couple of bills that moved this week. The first one was House Bill 252. It's the Building Code Regulatory Reform Bill. This is one of our top priorities this year. That bill was referred from the Senate Rules Committee to the Senate Commerce Committee. We hope it'll be heard soon. Another bill that was a lot of conversation this week was Senate Bill 628, Various Changes to Revenue Laws. Now this tried to tackle some of the challenges that we have faced dealing with sales tax on labor. What it does is it clarifies the definition of remodeling. It adds siding like exterior siding, decks, and patios to projects exempt. It increases the mixed transaction from 10% to 25%, which will be a big help for our members. It makes sure that the law keeps the building permit requirement, that makes sure that that's a capital improvement. It also makes important changes dealing with the franchise tax, dealing with the issue of being able to deduct indebtedness. That was taken out a couple years ago, and this would put this back into the statute. Hopefully this bill is going to be voted on next week in the Senate Finance Committee. And then one other bill that we were looking at this last week was House Bill 590, Interior Design Professions Act. Now what this bill did, it allows for a voluntary license for interior designers if they want to be able to pull building permits. One of the things that we asked for and was agreed to was an exemption for North Carolina general contractors, that they would be exempt from this act. Now, our legislator of the week is Senator Tommy Tucker. Senator Tucker is from Union County. He's a co-chair of the Finance Committee. He's one of our members down in Union County. We really appreciate everything that Senator Tucker does for our industry. That concludes this report. Now don't forget, this next week we have our legislative day and our legislative reception. Our reception is on Tuesday, May 23rd, and our legislative visits are on Wednesday, May 24th. I hope to see you there. See you next week.